welcome back to the End of the Fourth Football Podcast. It's me, your host, B-Hizzy, aka Brendan Hurst, and I am joined, as always, by The Prez, Chris Millian. I say, as always, wasn't on the review show, but we are back together this time. That's all good.
Yeah, but it was different.
It was different. It was just, yeah, I felt like I waffled on for far too long.
You see, that was the problem because, like, there's no back and forth. I had nobody to bounce my ideas off. I was like,
yeah.
But
it's been rectified now. We are back together and we're ready to talk about week 8. But before we do, as always on our previous shows, we do have some business to attend to, which is the results from last week. So on the pick'ems, I went 10-4. Chris, you went 8-6, and Freddie, our guest, went 10-4, which puts the all-time standings at 64-43-1 for me, 56-51-1 for you, and 63-44-1 for the guests. So a little bit tight up at the top there, but Chris, you're not very far behind. On the Scorching Six, Chris, me and you went 4-2. And I guess went 5-1. Imagine that. Hey, that's I think that's the best anybody's done all year.
Yeah, but I blame the bloody guy that wears number 12 for your team.
yeah, that'll do it. But yeah, so that puts the standings. I'm 20-22. Chris, you're 17-25, and the guests are 22-20, which is it's not looking good for us. Still plenty of season to turn around.
Plenty of time.
Now, we all got our locks right last week, which means we're all 5-2. So that's tasty over there. But still plenty of season to go, as we say, and plenty of time for things to go wrong or go right one way or another. So, I mean, as long as I finish on over 500 for at least one of these, I'll be happy.
I need to do this before we crack on with reviewing. Mm-hmm. Have you seen the line for Green Bay Buffalo?
Yep, 11 points.
Plus 10.5.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. The first time Aaron Rodgers has been a double-digit underdog in his career.
It's not, by the way, it's not Scotch or drip, but it's just, it was just when I clocked it there, I went, oh.
All right, well, let us dive in to week 8. We're going to talk about 7 games just now, and then we'll go for a break, and then we'll try and smash the rest of them. But we have to start off with the Thursday night football games. First one I can watch in a couple of weeks. I'm pretty excited about it. Last week was very good, so I think this one is going to be sneaky good as well. This is the Ravens heading to Tampa to take on the Buccaneers. What do you think?
It's a strange one because we said on the preview last week, angry Tom Brady is not good Tom Brady. Mm-hmm. And then he got smashed.
Yeah.
Then he come out earlier on this week and said, oh, I love my guys. And, we're all in this together and we're going to do it and we're going to turn it around. And I'm thinking, well, you said that last week and then you got smashed.
Yeah.
Now he's going to play Baltimore, who are on a bit of a run. Regardless of how they're winning. Can their defense stop Lamar? Their offense is crap. Tampa Bay is. I mean, this is going to go one of two ways. Brady's going to turn up and it's going to be brilliant, or Brady's going to fall apart. Last week, where it went wrong was the very first snap of the game.
Yeah.
2 inches. That's it. 2 inches with less power, and Mike Evans could have samba'd into the end zone.
Samba'd in, yes, a good way to do it. I'm going to take that 2 inches. That's it. It's just a sound drop. Just
he could have had anything.
Yeah.
It could have cartwheeled in. It was there was nobody within sight.
Yeah. It's a weird one. I think he was protected okay last week. He was only sacked once, but I mean, when it comes down to it, that was enough according to the scoreline. And the Ravens defense, they piled up 5 sacks and 5 QB hits. Now, the Ravens defense was also very good on third downs last week against the Browns. They allowed just 2 of 11 conversions on 11 third downs faced, and the Buccaneers converted 2 of 12 third downs versus Carolina, which is not good. it's such crazy, like a fall from earth. This has happened, like with Tom Brady. Because I actually, maybe it's like from last week. He's not been playing bad. He's not been playing to his heights, but he's not like had like a massive fall off like people are saying. I think an interesting matchup here is going to be Marlon Humphrey versus Marcus Peters, and Marlon Humphrey versus Mike Evans and Chris Godwin, who haven't really been themselves, especially Chris Godwin. Obviously coming off an ACL tear, maybe that takes a little bit longer. But Marlon Humphrey's been absolutely locked down so far this year. Only allowed 178 yards and has 2 picks so far. So that's kind of an interesting matchup. I think if Brady can connect with those two, maybe get them, a little bit more than 16 catches between them, then I think he was targeted. They were both targeted 28 times combined last week and 16 catches between them. So the two of them need to get involved more. And Leonard Fournette needs to improve on 3.5 yards per carry that he had last week as well. They didn't run it too much, but I think if he can improve that and get that up to 4, maybe 4.5, it opens up the passing game, and maybe Brady's a little bit more comfortable. And the Ravens defense is possibly one that the Buccaneers could have a little bit of success of that with. They're allowing 4.5 yards per carry on the season.
Yeah, as I say, it's... Sorry, I've actually jumped off camera, I know that, but
it's all right.
It's very strange how Tampa Bay, everybody thought they were going to walk some of their games. Now, Tom Brady, how many times has he been under 500 in his career at this stage? I mean, and it's not as if when he loses, he's losing by 1 point or 2 points or, a clock expiring field goal.
Yeah.
They've lost and been losing badly.
In games that they should have won. They obviously should have beaten the Steelers. There were a couple of passes away from beating the Packers, but obviously, and what we know about the Packers now, it's a game they should have won.
Of course. No, I mean, the Packers right now are in some sort of flux. It's going to be, if there's a game though to get it right, is it not better to get it right under the lights?
Yeah.
That's what I always say. There's no better time to shine.
Bigger things out. I just don't see Tom Brady losing 3 in a row. I don't think Tom Brady loses on prime time. I'm taking the Bucs to win this one, but I think it's going to be close, and we'll see.
No, I just think Lamar. I think the way that the Tampa defense is playing is just the way that the receivers as well. They'll create separation.
Yeah,
and it could turn into an absolute problem.
I just think that the way Lamar's just fallen off after the first 3 weeks of the season. You had nine completions last week. And they won, so it doesn't matter, but it's not a good precedent to set. And I think this, you're going to need to throw in this Buccaneers defense, because their run game is, they're so strong up front. Regardless of what you think of them at the minute, they have got the players there and they could turn it around on a dime.
Well, Baltimore is Baltimore's the underdog. So does that tell you something?
Yeah. Does that mean you're going to lock them up?
No, it does not. I've got my lock this week already.
I don't have my lock yet. I'm hoping that something comes up in the next couple of games. I'm not quite sure yet, so I'll need to figure something out.
I've got my lock locked up.
Okay, it'll be interesting. But you're taking the Ravens in this one, yeah? Yeah,
I'm taking the Ravens first game. Yeah,
that's fine. All right. Well, we're disagreeing there, so that's a good way for you to come back into it. But we'll keep rolling there. We'll keep going. We've got the Broncos at the Jaguars, which is not actually in Jacksonville. It's in London this week. It's the last London game of the season. It's at Wembley, which is where the Packers game should have been. But regardless, what do you think?
I think I'm waxing my horse that day, or I'm showering my hair. I mean, I can't think of a worse game to have in London. And I know that sounds horrible.
What, Texans Panthers?
At least be competitive.
Yeah, I
I mean,
suppose.
Russell Wilson is shocking.
What do you think about him doing the stretches and all the exercises on the plane for 4 hours?
Oh, and all we get at the moment is let's ride, baby.
Yeah.
Ride what? A car out of time? I mean, Nathaniel Hackett is the problem, right? If you have a job and if you're a car salesman and you're the best car salesman in the world, and then you got a new boss and suddenly you can't sell cars, is that on you? No, it's because your product's crap. Russell Wilson is not bad. His coach is horrible. His receiving core's
not helping him out, but he's just not seeing things. I've seen at least three instances this year where there's been guys that could have walked in for a touchdown and they would have been winners.
But you can get, as I keep saying, you can make statistics and things look any way you want. I mean, if I want, right, I can get statistics that make Kirk Cousins look like a Hall of Famer. I can get statistics which make Aaron Rodgers look like he should have been Mr. Irrelevant. If I really want, obviously I'm not going to do that, but you know what I mean? You can get stats and everything that looks at Russell Wilson is he's trying to fight a war with a water pistol. His running back's poor.
Yep.
His receivers are poor. Greg Dulcich is okay. That's probably the only bright spot. Jerry Jeudy can't get open.
He's coming to Green Bay.
So was DJ Moore. I mean, who's next? Jerry Rice and Calvin Johnson? This could be a very tough game. On the other side of the ball, Jacksonville. Every game they've lost this year, they've lost by 3 points. And what did they go and do? They traded away the running back for a 6th round, which is going to become a 5th round pick.
That's a steal for the Jets there.
The Jets will win that trade. I mean, it works out great for one person. Me. Because I've got Travis Etienne in fantasy.
Yeah.
But this game could be who can punt the ball better.
I have to disagree. I think that this game comes down to who can make the right.
Who can kick a field goal?
Yeah. Look, I think Travis Etienne's definitely one to watch in this game. He is 6.1 yards per carry on the season, and he had 114 yards on a score alongside 8.1 yards per carry last week versus the Giants. And the Broncos defense is, you can run against them. They're allowing 4.7 yards per carry on the year. Anything over 4, maybe 4.5 is really, really good. Now, the Jags defense has been really good against the pass, which hasn't been the Broncos' strong suit, like we've just been saying. They've allowed an 84.1 passer rating, 9 passing touchdowns, and 7 picks this year. They have 7 picks. But the Broncos have also been very good against the pass. They've only allowed a 74.9 passer rating, 3 passing touchdowns, and 4 picks. I mean, could you imagine that a team that's only allowed 3 passing touchdowns, through the season only has like 2 wins, is it?
2
and 5. So they have 4 picks. So both pass defenses are really good. Both run defenses are suspect. So I think it comes down to who can run the ball better. And I think it's going to be the Jags that can do that. I think Travis Etienne will explode in London. Jermichael Hasty's good in relief. And I just don't think that the Broncos like what they have in Melvin Gordon. And then who have they got behind him? Exactly.
However, on the flip though, I watched bits of the Broncos and Jets last week. I was getting my loyalty card stamped, and there was a couple of times in the game where if the Broncos can back the Jaguars up and cover everybody, Bradley Chubb will stick Trevor Lawrence on his backside.
Yeah, the Broncos are getting a 30.9 pressure rate percentage this year, so that's anything over 30 is really good.
But I'm gonna go the Jags here.
Yep.
Just.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think it might be. Should we do a score for this one? Why not? This can be our 1 week score. You go first. I don't know yet. I want to see what you put in about.
15-9.
15. It's just field goals.
Yes.
I'll go with.
Whoa. Doesn't have to be field goals.
Yeah, true.
It could be a touchdown, a 2-point conversion, a touchdown, an extra point. There's 15. And for the Denver Broncos, it can be a touchdown and a safety. So let's not go. I'm going field goals.
Is that your bold prediction then? That's how the scoring's going to be.
No, I'm not going for that.
I was going to say, book it.
15-9.
15-9. I'll go for. I'm taking the Jags to win as well. I'm going to have 24-22 here. Yeah,
Broncos?
I like that. Jags.
Okay.
I like that. 24-22. All right, then we'll keep rolling. I feel like the first 3 games we've got here have been really hard to pick. As like a lot of the time, I have a name which I can just put out there, and I think I know who's going to win based off looking at the matchup straight away. But before analyzing it, it's a bit different. But these first 3 games have been very tough to pick. Kind of off we go. So the next one we've got here is Panthers at Falcons, and
Scorching 6.
Is it scorching 6? Right then.
Panthers plus 4.5.
Okay.
Now, this is a hard one to pick because of the 2 quarterbacks are very similar.
Yeah.
It's going to be, I think, it's going to be PJ Walker, I'm going to say again, up against Marcus Mariota.
Yeah.
Both running offenses are okay. Both passing offenses, they're all right. Nothing spectacular. Both defenses are okay. But I feel the Panthers have a better defense.
Yeah. I like that. We know the running game, especially of the Panthers, is actually pretty underrated. No Christian McCaffrey, no problem. Juba Hubbard, Donta Foreman, pretty excellent last week against the Bucs on the ground. 7.4 yards per carry between them. This is just me saying that the Buccaneers are good against the run. But the Falcons, they're nothing to sneeze at. I think Cordell Patterson could see some time in this game. He almost made it back last week, but just wasn't quite ready. They have 4.3 yards per carry so far in the season, but they had an excellent outing last week. Sorry, that's what the Falcons have allowed their defense. So that's not bad. It's not great, but it's not bad. But they did only allow 3.7 yards per carry versus the Bengals last week. Panthers are allowing 4.1 yards per carry and just 2.9 last week. So both run defenses, if they can continue their momentum, could make this interesting. And what quarterback do you trust to make the throw?
The Falcons gave up nearly 500 yards against elite quarterback Joe Burrow.
Oh, so you're on the train now, are you?
I thought you were. Did you not listen to that?
I did actually. I heard it. I was like, what? He doesn't think Joe Burrow's elite.
I'm changing it now.
Okay.
Joe Burrow is elite.
You're flip-flop. You're very, very Colin Cowherd-esque.
Yes. But I don't think PJ Walker's going to throw for nearly 500 yards.
Yeah, I have that here as well. I don't think that the Falcons' pass defense was obliterated last week, and PJ Walker won't emulate that. But they do need their ground game to kind of keep it up, because I think that the Falcons could, or the Panthers will be able to pass as well as run. But I feel like the Falcons know their identity of their offense, and it's very much run heavy.
But if they can back them up a wee bit, even if it's 3rd and 8, 3rd and 7, Brian Burns can get to Marcus Mariota. So for that reason, I'm going to take... God, I looked like I was having some sort of Moment there.
Moment there.
I'm going to take the Panthers.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Right. I think this is tough. Speaking about it now, I want to flip. So the Falcons can get Pitts and Drake London involved more. They will have the ability to keep up with Carolina. Both those teams had just 18 combined yards last week. Now I know that obviously the Falcons we've been blattering on about it all the time. The Falcons are very they know what they are. They're very limited. They're using Marcus Mariota in a limited fashion, and they don't want to throw him out of his comfort zone by making him basically putting the pressure on his shoulders and forcing him to throw with the weapons that they have. I don't know if I'm going to regret this. I had the Falcons to win, but I'm going to flip here. I'm going to take the Panthers. That's the first flip. That's the first flip I've done this year. I think it's actually the first flip any of us have done. So
no, I haven't flipped at all this year. Just from Joe Burrow's elite to non-elite, or
yes, yeah,
non-elite to elite.
On the pick'ems, I don't think. Yeah, that's the first flip in like anything like pick'ems, scorching six, or lock. Man, I really hope I'm right. I'm going to take the Panthers there. Just something clicked in my mind as we were talking about it. And I think it's just down to, I think the Panthers are less one-dimensional on offense, which sounds crazy considering they were so like almost zero-dimensional when Baker Mayfield was under center. But PJ Walker gives them that, I don't know, it gives them something, which is weird. I don't know, it's just, but it makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll keep going here. We have here's a sneaky good game. All right, Bears at Cowboys. I like this one a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Now, losing Robert Quinn, it's going to be a big loss for the the Bears. He was traded he was traded to the Eagles earlier this week, and that leaves Roquan Smith as the only real star on their defense. They've got Eddie Jackson, but he's
a safety.
Yeah. Roquan Smith really the guy on that. He's their best player, and he's the best guy on the defense by default. I think that the Bears defense have had a really good year against the pass. 75.5 passer rating allowed, 5 touchdowns and 8 picks. But they've not had so much luck when they've been against the run. They've allowed 4.7 yards per carry, and that gives Zeke and Tony Pollard a chance to continue the momentum they brought up from last week against the Lions.
This is a tough game because the line, it's not a scorcher, but the line is 9.5.
To the Cowboys.
Now, this game, as I said on the review show, the way the Bears can win this game is have Dak Prescott sitting on the side. They're gonna have to run the football down the throat of the Cowboys,
which I think they can do.
Try a lot of these wee read option plays and get Justin Fields moving and things like that. I watched every single snap on Monday. By the way, what a game. The Bears actually looked watchable.
Yeah, they were good.
And as I said on the review show, and I'm going to stick by it because I've actually managed to do it through a bookmaker in a shop because I asked someone. I can have the Bears to finish second in the North.
Oh, yeah?
I didn't take it, but...
So you made them go out of their way to check you can put it on the computer, and you said, "Nah, I'm all right, man. Cheers."
There was nobody else in the shop. If it was busy, I wouldn't have.
It's fair.
But,
it's fair.
The guy was looking bored. I thought I'd give him something to do.
And then he comes. Then you ask him about this, and he looks as if you've got 2 heads.
Yeah.
The what? You mean the Chicago Bears? You mean the Chicago Bulls?
Well, I watched that as well. I like the basketball too.
Lakers suck.
I'm telling you. By the way, if tonight's game's crap on 407, I'm switching over to 408.
Yeah.
And watching Brooklyn. Honestly.
Yeah, I don't know. You like basketball. Who's your team? Who do you like? Who do you like in basketball?
Well, I think if you can guess my football team, you would guess which basketball team.
It's got to be a team in Florida then. Or is it? Is it the Orlando Magic?
No, I like Boston Celtics.
Ah, Okay. All right. I'll fair enough. Well, I'm a San Antonio Spurs fan, so it's not been very good, but we are 3-2, so need Josh Primo back.
Anyway,
Yes,
that's the ball
that's
sport.
the end of the fourth basketball podcast. Let's get that started. But yeah, I can't remember how we got onto this. Yeah, you were going to switch. That's right. Yeah, you were going to switch to the basketball. Yeah.
If it's crap, but the Bears have been very watchable at times on Monday, and I actually enjoyed the game. But did they win because of the controversy the Patriots had? For that reason, I'm taking the Cowboys here pretty comfortably. However, it's not a scorcher.
Yeah. Okay. One thing that concerns me with the Cowboys offense here, and I know it's been diluted a little bit with an inexperienced quarterback who obviously did his job, kept them in contention while Dak was out, but this is still a concern in numbers. They've got a 32.2% third down conversion, which is, I don't have the exact number, but it's the worst, one of the worst in the league so far. The Bears can annoy Dak and force the Cowboys offense to play behind the sticks. I think they could maybe struggle to get things going offensively. That said, I think Mike McCarthy he just game plans differently for the Bears. Obviously in his time in Green Bay. So I'm taking the Cowboys to win here, but based on what I saw on Monday night, I'm not going to be too. I'm not going to say it's too comfortable. I think it could be close. Maybe like I don't think more than maybe 4 points in it.
If it was a scorcher, you would take the Bears plus 9.5.
Oh yeah, definitely, 100%. That's a crazy line for me. I'm sorry. I know the Cowboys defense is great and everything, but I think that this Bears offense is just getting some things together, figuring things out.
Okay.
They've shown flashes. They're very much like the Falcons in a way. They show flashes on offense, and I think I trust Justin Fields more than Marcus Mariota to an extent. All right, we'll keep going here. Dolphins at Lions.
This is a scorcher.
Okay.
Dolphins minus 3.5.
Okay. Okay. Now,
Go for it.
Jared Goff has 3 picks and no touchdowns in his last 2 games, and this is going against the secondary, which put in a superb performance on Sunday Night Football with 3 picks of Kenny Pickett. So I feel like the Lions could be running into a buzzsaw here. To this extent, Tua Tagovailoa has 9 touchdowns and 3 picks on the year. He was lucky not to have a couple the other night, and he struggled to connect effectively with Tyreek Hill. 7 catches and 72 yards on 13 targets. That's a concern to me.
Well, I'm going to put my offensive coordinator's hat on. When watching the game, obviously, when it shows you replays, they circle bits and do lines and all that sort of shit. Stuff. And what I noticed a lot of times was teams are double teaming Tyreek Hill, which leaves Waddle 1-on-1, leaves Gesicki 1-on-1, and leaves Sherfield, who's the third receiver, uncovered. So they're thrown to him. In the next play, they realize, they might throw to that guy. So we'll double team Tyreek Hill. We'll leave Waddle 1-on-1. We'll cover Sherfield, but we'll leave Gesicki open. Then it's the same. They realize Gesicki could be throwing, so then they uncover Jalen Waddle. Yeah. And it's like...
this Lions defense just couldn't adjust to save their life right now.
No, definitely not. And and as we spoke about previously on shows, one of the shows we might do during the off season is relook at the draft and where team. Right, Aiden Hutchinson so far looks a reach at 2.
Yeah, that's one of my points here. He came out of the darkness last week. He had 1.5 sacks and 3 QBs hits, but that's his first in either category since week 2.
I mean, he looks literally like a number 2 pick. He doesn't look like a number 2 pick. He looks like maybe a second rounder. That's with those stats. Yeah. I mean,
because I know what we all expected of him, and how the Lions essentially were like, "Oh, yep, give me that." Once the Jags put their pick in for Trayvon Walker.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, it's been very poor to watch for the Lions, considering at the start they were brilliant. But is that because they're missing key players?
I think they've been unlucky. But like
You're
you say,
not getting
no excuses from you.
You're not getting a pass, no. So, neither's any of the Lions receivers because Jared Goff can't throw one.
Yep.
But I think at 3.5, even at 3.5, that's a great pick. Great line. So for me, Dolphins win. Give me the points as well.
That's it. 3.5. All right. Let's keep going here. Cardinals at Vikings. I like this game. This is a very nice game on the early window. 5 p.m. this week as the clocks go back, which we're very happy about. Extra night in bed, or extra night in bed. Well, though it is a Halloween party this weekend, so maybe not.
Please don't remind me. That's why I don't work Saturdays. Anyway, that's for a different week. I'm excited about this game, and then I'm not.
Yeah,
because I like the wee fella that wears number 1. I also like the fella that wears number 8. Well, 1 o'clock. We'll just call it 1 o'clock. It's going to be 12.
No, it is 1 o'clock. Yeah, that's right.
Lunchtime, Kirk. The line's 3.5. Mine Cards are obviously underdogs. Going to arguably the noisiest arena is going to cause Arizona problems. Because Kyler Murray is doing a stupid thing. He claps when he wants to snap. He will well just turn around and go to the Vikings defense. See, when that clock hits 4, I'm going to snap it. I mean, I thought you were supposed to try and catch the other team off guard.
Yeah.
But with DeAndre Hopkins, Eno Benjamin, Zach Ertz, I mean, it could be a very different kind of game. For Arizona to win, Kyler has to run.
Yeah, he has to use his legs more. 100%.
Kyler Murray has not lost a game when he ran 10 or more times.
Yeah.
So if he runs for 10 yards with 1 yard a run, that's a win for the Cards.
Yeah. And the Vikings defense has been very poor against the 2 running quarterbacks they've faced so far this year, Jalen Hurts and Justin Fields.
They're not getting a pass on Jalen Hurts, no. Monday night.
No, yeah. Well, even still. And you go.
I'm going to take Arizona.
Okay.
Just because I think their defense could put Kirk in trouble. Buda Baker up against Justin Jefferson or Marco Wilson, who was the NFC Defensive Player of the Week.
Yep, that's right. Yep. Now, let me say about this game my thoughts here. Okay, so seeing as DeAndre Hopkins had a very, very good outing in his first game of the year last week, 10 catches for 103 yards. I'd expect that to continue against the Vikings secondary, which can be leaky at times and tend to play down to their opposition, keep things around. Kirk Cousins was saying that it's kind of the inverse of last year. Like, we're not playing to our potential, yet we're winning games. Whereas last year they were coming off the field thinking, we played so well, how the hell did we lose? So I think that the Vikings defense is a weak point for them, which is kind of weird considering, the years of how long they had a very, very good defense. And Cameron Dantzler in particular has been a very weak spot for them. He's allowed 76.5 completion rate and 116.4 passer rating. On the other side, Kyler Murray has taken 16 sacks in 7 games, but only 2 in 31 dropbacks last week. It's not terrible. The Vikings pass rush has a 32.1 pressure rate percentage, which is amazing. Okay, and they're not even blitzing that often, and they don't need to considering the players they've got on the pass rush. They've also accumulated 17 sacks so far this year. And as I said, they were poor against the two running quarterbacks they've faced so far this year. So this is a tough one. This is one I would like to watch, but it's actually Sunday. I am working this week. So it's a tough one. I'm gonna take the Vikes here.
Okay.
I think that, like you say, 1 o'clock Kirk is a real thing. And I think that the offense will just manage to find a way just about against this Cardinals team. We're running out of time here, so we'll take a break, and then when we're back, we'll hit the rest of the games on the slate, including the whole horror movie that's going to be on Sunday Night Football. Right then, we're back, and this is a game which is, I don't know what I think about this one. This is Raiders at Saints in New Orleans.
Scorcher.
So Scorcher, number 3.
It is Raiders -1.5.
So I think that this game it's a confusing one, isn't it? Because this is the kind of game, but the Saints are the kind of team that this Raiders team could lose to.
Yes.
With especially the way they've been playing. They've been better recently. Almost beat the Chiefs, but couldn't close it out. That kind of thing. So we've got Josh Jacobs has been a bit of a beast recently. They didn't take his 5th-year option, and over his last 3 games, he's had 147 yards per game, and he has 5.7 yards per carry and 6 touchdowns in the year, including a hat trick last week. Saints defense gave up 7.7 yards per carry versus Eno Benjamin last week. And that's not a good place to be in.
Last week was pretty poor for New Orleans.
Mm-hmm.
And I just think the Raiders, the Saints are very one-dimensional.
Mm-hmm.
It's run on first down or pass,
mm-hmm.
pass on second down or run, whatever way they do first down,
mm-hmm.
then bring Taysom Hill in.
Yeah. I try and throw it down. Yeah.
If he succeeds, they get first down. If not, they punt it away.
Yeah.
Whereas I think they'll struggle to stop the run.
Mm-hmm.
They've got a fantastic wide receiver, elite wide receiver in Las Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
A fantastic quarterback. And I just think that... What?
Is he elite?
No, he is elite.
Okay. I'm allowing you to have your own opinions on this show.
They might become non-elite.
Yeah.
But I just think the Raiders will stuff them. I think the Raiders are too good at the moment.
Yeah, I think so. Derek Carr had his best game of the year last week, 21 for 27, 241 yards and a touchdown. And when Josh Jacobs can get going, it makes Derek Carr to Devontae Adams more effective and more dangerous. And what's most likely to happen in this game is that the Saints have no corners that are going to really be able to match up with Devontae Adams, who, would probably face Marshawn Lattimore. He didn't play last week. I think he's questionable for this one. And Bradley Roby, he was carted off last week, so he's probably not going to see much time in this game, if any at all. So I think that...
go to Hunter Renfrow.
Yes, who's been, he had 3 catches last week, and Mac Hollins as well. They've been, pretty respectable, the Raiders wide receivers. I think they're just finally building things together. I think they're getting things going.
Yeah.
I'm taking the Raiders here, and I'm going to take them to cover. I think 1.5 is just a bit much, but not enough. Sorry, for the Saints.
Yeah. Same.
Yeah. All right then. We'll keep rolling here. We have the New England Patriots up against the New York Jets, which is kind of it's another interesting one, isn't it? Because it's just it's a testament to see how much times have changed. Because the Patriots every year would go into a game like this, no matter if it was at Foxborough, if it was in MetLife, and they would think, right, this is an easy win here. But it's just not the case anymore. The Jets are 100% for real, and we've seen, as on Monday night, the Patriots can stink up the place on certain days.
Well, it's a scorching pick number 4.
Okay.
Jets plus 2.5.
Okay, they're underdogs. That's fine. Okay, is that what you're taking?
Yep.
Jets plus 2.5. Right. I think that this game is going to be a sneaky one for Mac Jones. Sorry, not Mac Jones. Zach Wilson, the dog, passing the ball. He hasn't been great passing the ball since his return. You'd think, Joe Flacco is still their passing leader. He hasn't played in 4 weeks now. Mm-hmm. Which is a real concern for me. The fact that, and I suppose he's not really going to care, Zach Wilson, considering they've won every game. I think they've won every game since he's been back. They've won 4 in a row, haven't they? Yeah, they have.
Because what they're doing is they are running the ball, and that's the secret to beating New England, because New England can't stop a cold.
Yeah. I think that when you go,
I just think that if New England can't stop a cold, and they've just gone and acquired James Robinson, who's elite runner. Well, he's not elite, but he's good.
He's a great runner.
He's solid enough. And I just think that watching New England were poor on Monday night. And when they can't sort out who's going to start at QB, which is a nightmare for me, because I've got both of them in fantasy.
It looks like I think Bill Belichick's decided Mac Jones is going to start. I don't know if that puts him in the best place, though. Bailey Zappi wasn't great. He had 2 decent drives, and then there wasn't really much after that.
But what night was Mac Jones?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think he got screwed out of the bench and when the ball hit the spider cam line. But it is what it is. It's like a 1 in a million shot, really. I'm sure I've seen like a video of the Atletico Madrid goalkeeper doing that, hit spider cam, or actually hit the camera, and the ball dropped and led straight to that. So the game was restarted, like the play was restarted from the goal kick, but it's kind of crazy. But for the Jets, I think they're missing quite a lot of pieces. I don't think James Robinson's going to play. I think he's coping with a little bit of knee soreness in this one, which kind of paves the way for Michael Carter. And is he a kind of guy which can thrive as a number 1 running back? I don't know. I don't think we've seen enough from him, and obviously Breece Hall not playing. He's out for the year with that unfortunate ACL tear last week. So I think that the Jets' run game is going to be a problem, and I think that with it's going to come down to Zach Wilson making a throw, and I think that now is the time he's going to be able to do it. I think he's going to be frustrated all day long. I think he's going to have guys in his face. Elijah Vera Tucker's on injured reserve. That's their starting right tackle. They're now down to their 3rd string left tackle, and their second string right tackle, which is not good. Dwayne Brown's questionable.
Yep.
So it's going to be tough. And you look at the statistics throughout the year. Both teams are pretty even. 22.1 points per game for the Patriots, 22.7 for the Jets. 20.9 allowed for the Patriots, 19.6 allowed for the Jets. Yards, again, around 350 per game. They're allowing, the Patriots allowing 362.6 yards per game, Jets 329. So it is actually a very even matchup. And it is, like I was saying, it is a real testament to how times have changed when, you'd go in, the Patriots would go into a game like this thinking, well, this is it. This is another easy win. More often than not, it would be.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I'm taking the Jets here, and give me the points there as well.
Yeah,
Jets, we're pretty even on the Scorchers right now. In fact, we are. We're 4 for 4. So,
and I think I actually think this week we're going to finish 6 for 6.
I think possibly. Right then, here's the next one on the books. This is. I actually like this game a lot. Steelers at Eagles.
This is a hard one to predict because the line is 10.5.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, We seen the Steelers just upset a 10.5-point favorites literally 2 weeks ago against the Buccaneers.
Yeah, but I watched them on Sunday night, the Steelers, and they're not going to do anything to the Eagles.
Mm-hmm.
See if this game was a boxing match,
mm-hmm.
it would be stopped after the first quarter, unable to defend yourself.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to go out on a limb here. You can't get. I don't think you can get it anywhere, right?
Mm-hmm.
Eagles, right, by 20.
Eagles by 20. You want to do a score for this one as well? Why not? We'll do 2 in 1 week.
I don't have a score. I just think Eagles by at least 20.
It's a bold prediction. I think you need to back it up with a score. I'm pressuring you into it. 31-10.
38-7.
38-7. That's a nice scoreline. I'll do as well. I'll go 31-13, I think. I think that's a nice little scoreline there. I think the Steelers get their points in garbage time. I think this is going to be a point where the Eagles really set the league on notice. I don't think they've really got anything to prove to anybody now. Throughout the league. Anyway, they beat Dallas, they beat the Vikings, that kind of thing, and they're pretty healthy. I mean, other than Brandon Graham, who's questionable, they should go into this game with a lot of their key pieces. And with this Steelers offense just completely anemic. Couldn't really do anything on Sunday night against the Dolphins. They struggled to. Obviously, Kenny Pickett threw 3 picks. I think he had a sub-70 passer rating. It might have been less than that. Points per game.
Watch.
Yeah, points per game, points allowed per game, total yards allowed. The Steelers, I think, are allowing over 400 yards per game. The good news for them is TJ Watt is back in practice. He is still on injured reserve and he hasn't been activated yet, so it's unlikely to see him this week, but he's making his way back, which is good for them. It means they could possibly rely on their defense a little bit more.
Yeah, I think it won't play this week. I think next week.
I just look at these numbers here, and this just looks like a bloodbath, but it is any given Sunday. My scoreline 31-13. I'm taking the Eagles here, and I don't think it is outside the lock zone, so there's no here. I still don't have a lock. I need to figure one out here. I'm gonna just.
Oh, I missed my lock.
Oh, you've lost it. You need to pick another one then.
I've missed my lock. It was actually a Scotch I'd picked my lock on.
Who was your lock?
Raiders.
All right, then I'll put a little lock there.
I do apologise there because I blame the child.
That's it. Yeah, blame the child. Without any
compassion.
Exactly. Yeah, I think this could be a bloodbath for the Steelers, and I mean, I hope it's close. Nobody really wants to see blowouts unless it's like the Cowboys or
the Packers,
the Vikings. I was going to say. All right, we'll keep rolling here. We're doing well. I like this as my lock. Hell yeah. Tennessee Titans against the Houston Texans. Here we go.
Titans minus 15. No, it's not.
it's +2. I'll just say it right now. Titans are my pick. I'm my lock right there.
You can't really see anything else other than a Titans win there.
Yeah, I think that the Texans play hard, right? Like give me a break, okay? I think they play. Who is it they played last week? Was it the oh my god, hang on, it is down here somewhere. The Raiders, they played them hard in the first half. Dameon Pierce is he's a stud. Davis Mills, despite not being great, is putting up really good stats 6 weeks through the season compared to his other first quarterbacks from the 2021 draft class. He's second in by pretty much every metric, like touchdown passes, yards per game, that kind of thing. So, and to be fair, the Texans offense is actually putting up more yards than the Titans offense by quite a considerable margin. We've got 292.5 yards per game for the Titans and the Texans put up 325.7. So, these numbers, but when it comes down to it, the Texans defense still putting up, still allowing a lot of yards, 422. The Titans defense isn't much better. The thing is that they got just really nice play last week when they needed it. They got the turnovers, they got the sacks, they got the touchdown. So, my concern is about the Titans offense. But I think if, they've won 4 in a row, it's a hard one, isn't it? Because you look at the teams that they've played. It's been Las Vegas when they were in the rut, the Colts, the Commanders, who, what do we get from them? Who knows every week? And then the Colts again. And, they haven't been particularly comfortable wins, but the defense has kind of stepped up in key moments when it's needed to. And they're not allowing, less than 100 rushing yards per game.
Yeah.
So that's a good thing. And with the Texans, they're kind of making Dameon Pierce their workhorse, their cowbell. And, if he's not going to be able to get running, and obviously Derrick Henry can, and it's not going to be a big deal for the Titans to deviate from the run to the pass if they need to, especially if the run game is on fire. I don't see anything else but a Titans win here, and this line is very, very, very nice.
Yes, but it's not a scorcher.
It's not a scorcher, no.
No, I do the scorchers.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm just looking at some of these stats here. I mean, it's just not set up well for the Texans, really. I know they're at home. Who knows? I think they could make it interesting. But I think the line's just a bit much for them.
Okay.
So are you taking I take it you're taking the Titans there as well?
Yeah.
So, are you going to flip your lock?
No, because you've took the Titans as your lock. So,
all right, well, we can do lock buddies. We've not had a lock off yet either. I don't think we would this week, to be fair, but all right then. We will keep rolling on here. 2 teams we just mentioned. Commanders, Colts, and the Colts are starting Sam Ehlinger at Texas, the sixth round pick out of Texas.
Yeah, Matt Ryan lasted his QB1 for 28 weeks and 3 days.
Yep. You can't. Poor boy can't escape it.
Yep, he scored a touchdown. He's was it 50,000 yards, and what was the ball number? 283.
Yeah. Poor guy.
I'm going to ask you something.
Mm-hmm.
Can I go to the bookies? Is Matt Ryan going to die on the 283rd day of the year?
Yeah.
It's sort of like it's written in the stars.
Yeah. I wonder if it's something stupid like he's played like 283 snaps, or they've gained positive yards on 283 snaps this year, or something like that.
Honestly, the poor guy cannot evade those numbers.
Nah, he can't.
What do we know about Sam Ehlinger? You're the man with the stats.
Nothing. I mean, I think he played 5 years at Texas, which, ain't great. But I mean, I'm sure he started for all those 5 years, which is a good sign. Which means that, they were stable. He was stable enough for them not to be replaced. So you can look at it from both ways. My concern here is you get a quarterback who's never thrown a pass in a real NFL game. He's great in a preseason, but he's never thrown a pass in a real game. And, when your running back who is a beast is, struggling mightily, to emulate what he had last year. He has 91, Jonathan Taylor, 91 carries, 386 yards and a touchdown. I think he had about 7 touchdowns this time last year, or possibly even more. He's just been a shadow of himself. And yeah, he's been hurt, but you're on the field and, you've got to be emulating some sort of similar success. And he just hasn't been.
Thank God no NFL players listen to this show, because the amount of times you try and defend him and I go, you're not getting a pass for being hurt.
Yeah.
But I can't see anything other than I think the Commanders will win this.
Mm-hmm.
For the simple reason I trust Carson Wentz more than I trust Sam Ellinger.
You mean Taylor Heineke?
Sorry, Taylor Heineke. Sorry. You know what it
Fact
is?
check.
Do you know what it is? I'm looking at my fantasy because I've actually still got Carson Wentz in there.
Is he not an injured reserve?
Yeah, but I've got 4 quarterbacks on my fantasy roster.
Well, there's your problem.
I have to pick between one of them this week. I've got 1 o'clock Kirk, the 2 New Englands, and I can't remember the other one's Carson Wentz, who's injured.
Well, don't put Carson Wentz in because he's injured.
Yeah, that's a good start.
Shout back if you didn't.
Got back in the win column last week. Now, I just think that we just need to, I think, look at the Commanders as they're not playing exceptional, but I think against technically a rookie, even if Jonathan Taylor's not performing to the heights and he's got to make throws, I don't think he can make them.
Yeah, I mean, there was a lot of offensive mistakes, like mental mistakes made in the Colts offense last week. You know, Michael Pittman, who's been, you know, a very reliable number 1 receiver for them, he got stripped, and that led to a touchdown. Doesn't look like there's going to be any Shaquille Leonard for them on defense. It just seems like a, you know, wrong moment for the Colts here. It's just really strange. I just don't understand how they think that it would be a better move for you know, I know Matt Ryan is injured, but it seems like the move is going to be that they're making the shift for Sam Ellinger to start the rest of the year. And you just think that, I get Matt Ryan hasn't been great, 9 touchdowns, 9 picks, but when you don't know what you're getting from the rookie, I mean, I suppose it could go both ways. I don't know. It's a confusing move to me. But both offenses aren't great, less than 20 points averaging per game. Both the Colts are averaging exactly 20 points allowed per game. The Commanders a little bit more, 22.3. With yards, again, similar numbers, around the middle of 350, round about that. So it's a problem that these two offenses, and these are not two great squads, right? And that's nothing to take away from. Well, is it to take away? I don't know. It just. We saw this as the Carson Wentz revenge game, didn't we? He's not playing and his replacement's not playing. So it's kind of like a real humdinger, this game.
Yeah, exactly.
But we have spoken a bit too much about this game. I'm taking the Commanders to win here. But the spread is the Commanders are underdogs and they're 3-point dogs. I would take that.
Yeah. But I didn't.
Yes. All right,
my ball, you're not getting a shot.
Here's an interesting one, all right? We've got the San Francisco 49ers traveling to LA to face Scorching 6, number 5.
Rams plus 1.5.
Equals 2.5. Or 3.5.
You can't just pick a line, Emily. 1.5, that's the line.
Well, she could pick the alternate.
No, because she picks Green Bay every week and the Bears every week.
Right. Let me think about this one, okay? Because another week for Christian McCaffrey to get adjusted to his surroundings, learn the playbook a little bit more, be used a little bit more, and against a defense which is allowing 104.2 rush yards per game. I like this for Christian McCaffrey. The Rams, they are a bit of a mess as well. Their offense, they've got 335.2 yards per game. They're only averaging 17.3 points per game, and their rushing is easily one of the worst in the league. They're only getting 70.5 rushing yards per game, when against a team that identity is to run the ball, especially considering the move they just made. They're getting 120.7 yards per game now. What we've learned from Jimmy Garoppolo is that he is not a guy that can make the throw. He's solid, but needs a lot of running. Very much like Dak. Very much like, to an extent, Jalen Hurts.
Yes.
But I trust Jalen Hurts and Dak to make throws that need to be made. I don't trust Jimmy G unless it's against the Packers in the playoffs or something. So I'm worried. I'm worried for this one. The 49ers defense is actually performing a little bit less. They're allowing more yards just by just a small fraction than the Rams defense. But I think the Rams are just a little bit of a lost identity at the minute. They're struggling to get going. I think they'll be okay, but I'm gonna take the Niners here, and I'm gonna take them to take the points. So we're not 6 for 6 on Scorching the Six, which is good.
Oh, good. Well, I've got the Rams, obviously.
Yeah.
The only reason for it is because they're good. They're going to have to win.
Yeah.
Because if Arizona win, Seattle's losing this week, so it levels up.
Yeah. My worry here is that who are the Rams going to run the ball with? And I'm not trusting Matthew Stafford to throw the ball right now.
I'm not sure who the Seattle Seahawks are playing this week.
It's your boy DJ.
Yeah, of course, yes.
The Rams are not going to have Cam Akers, who's probably going another way. He's going to be on another team. Darrell Henderson's questionable. Kyron Williams is on injured reserve. I don't know who the Rams are going to run the ball with, and I don't really think they could throw it at this moment in time.
No, it could be. It's going to be one or the other ways.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, it should be a good game. Very interesting. I'm going to be at work, and at that point in time, I'll most likely be getting rid of the bakery, which means that customers won't be annoying me, and I can dish out the bakery while putting Red Zone on. So,
oh well, there you go.
There we go. All right, then let's keep going here with an interesting game. After I said that about all of them, is the only 2 teams that are matching up, and both of them have winning records this week. Daniel Jones and the Giants against Geno Smith and the Seattle Seahawks.
Where's my wallet? I've lost my wallet. I had it earlier. Anyway,
I should take that as a soundbite for when you have a bad result on the Scorching Six.
This is a scorcher.
This is the last one, Scorching Six.
I think this is the last game of the 8 o'clock window, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just the Sunday night and then Monday night after this.
Is it Giants plus 2.5?
Okay. Are they underdogs? Of course they are. Yeah, Giants.
Yep. Giants are playing well. And I just think that Seattle, if the Giants can stop Kenneth Walker, they'll stop Seattle.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't know. I don't think that, the Giants defense is playing well, but that's good. The Giants defense is playing well, but I don't know about their pass rushing right now. I think that their secondary is playing really good. Let me have a look here. They're allowing 220.3 passing yards per game, which is pretty good. Both teams are getting run over. That's the only thing. Both allowing about 145 rush yards per game. Yeah. Seahawks a little bit more, 149.7. But both offenses are cooking really well. Giants 21.4, and the defense is managing to hold teams out enough that they can close the game with Saquon, and it's proven really, really effective. The Seahawks offense is 26.1. It's just their defense is not performing well in any facet.
And also, I trust Daniel Jones to throw it as well.
Mm-hmm.
Chargers aren't playing this week, Emily. But I just think that with the Giants, I just think the Giants have to win to try and keep in touch at the top of that NFC East.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And for that reason, I've got Danny Dimes or Danny Clutch.
Danny Clutch
getting it done.
I like this game a lot. I think this is going to be a really, really good one. I think this is 2 scrappy, gritty offenses which were doubted a lot by pretty much everybody prior to the season. And I think that this could be pretty close. I don't like this line, but I am going to take it. I'm going to take the Giants and the points here. Well, the Giants are winning anyway, so I have to take the points here. But if I was going the other direction, I would be skeptical to an extent. But I do like this one. I think it will be close.
Yes.
All right, then. Well, we'll take a short break, and then we'll hit the 2 primetime games after that. All right, then. So we have a horror movie on Halloween that's going to be played between the Green Bay Packers and the Buffalo Bills. And I just can't. I mean, I don't think anybody gives Green Bay a shot in this one.
The 5-year-old does.
Yeah, well, yeah. And I hope she's right. I really do.
Do you know, I'm going to say something very controversial here.
Mm-hmm.
You don't think Aaron Rodgers is trying to do to Matt LaFleur what he did to Mike McCarthy, do you?
No way. No way.
It's just, I mean, I can't see them doing anything to Buffalo.
Mm-hmm. I mean, in that regard, like it's clear that they get on. Like they're you know, even when they're barking at the sideline, it's like when it was with Mike McCarthy in the later years, they wouldn't speak to each other on the sidelines. You know, Aaron Rodgers would bark at him on the field and then walk off and just sit away from him, not talk to him. So I think, you know, Matt LaFleur and Aaron Rodgers get on really, really well. And I just think that, you know, it goes beyond, like I said on the you know, review show from last week when I went scorched earth on the Packers. I think that, you know, this is more than just Aaron Rodgers that's responsible for this problem. All right, Matt LaFleur has been a problem. He's so deeply uninspiring for me. You hear him in his press conferences, and he's just, we need to do this, we need to do that, we need to clean this up, and it's just like, well, tell me how you're going to do that. Hold guys accountable. Like, say, Amari Rodgers effed that up, and we expect better from him. You know, that kind of thing.
But it doesn't help when the guy that's wearing number 12 that throws the thing goes, we need to cut guys' reps, and these guys it's all their fault. Wait a minute, you're throwing the thing.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, like, I think he spoke out of turn there. You know, he's right, to be honest. But I think that you leave that kind of thing to the head coach, because, in my opinion, the way he's saying it is he's kind of calling out Matt LaFleur in a way.
He did.
Yeah.
Yeah. I said on my very first episode, I said about the Jags, run the ball and give your quarterback a chance to throw on 3rd and 4.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm going to go out on a limb here. This game is not going to be won by touchdowns or field goals.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be won before the ball even gets kicked off.
Yeah.
The wee silver thing that gets flung in the air.
Mm-hmm.
If Green Bay win it, elect to receive the ball first.
Mm-hmm.
Because take it down drive 1, you score touchdown, you're 7 up.
Mm-hmm.
Your defense gets 1 stop. Let me finish.
Mm-hmm.
You get the ball back. You march it 60 yards downfield and Mason Crosby puts it through the posts.
Mm-hmm.
You're 10 up. Mm-hmm. Then you can milk the clock.
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers is a bailer when he's behind. If Buffalo get the first kickoff, you may as well go Buffalo minus about 25.
Mm-hmm.
Because they will smack them.
Yeah, I think that, you know, I had a look at alternative handicap on Paddy Power, and I was very, very tempted to take Bills minus 36. But I just don't have any hope for this thing. Like, this is the first time Aaron Rodgers has been a double-digit underdog in his career, and it's pretty surprising considering he's been year 18, but it's just not pretty. None of it. You know, look at the numbers. They're all down across the board. Points per game, points allowed is up, total yards. You know, the Bills have like 100 yards more per game than the Packers do. Like, and then, you know, the defenses are just, you know, the defenses are a little bit different. The Packers have been very, very good against the pass. only 183.1 passing yards per game. The Bills about 226.3, but it's the run game where the Packers can't stop a runny nose. And I think, Josh Allen's going to be able to throw on this team because they just still haven't figured out how to stop crossing routes. And, when it comes down to it, is they're going to be able to milk the clock with, James Cook and Devin Singletary and Zach Moss. I don't know if he's still there, but I don't think that even getting Aaron Jones touches is going to change much about this Packers chances. I really want to be wrong. I really do, because this is the kind of game you win, and it really ignites things. You get things going, and Monday morning we've got a different perception of the Packers, and I feel a lot more confident going to Green Bay in Week 10.
So pick this week, then you're going Buffalo.
Yes, I am taking the Bills here, and I think it's going to be pretty ugly pretty quickly, and I think that we could see Jordan Love in the second half, to be quite honest. I take it you're agreeing with me?
I said the only thing that's saving Aaron Rodgers. Yeah. The only thing that's saving Aaron Rodgers is the fact that the backup's crap. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
If Josh Allen was having a stinker, at least their backup is at least capable.
Who's their backup? Matt Barkley, is it?
Case Keenum,
yeah, of course.
Case Keenum.
Yeah, I think it's going to be. I think that the Packers probably not going to have Rashawn Gary's questionable with a concussion. Elton Jenkins questionable. It doesn't look pretty, and I don't think it will be for the Pack. But 3-5, still a lot of season left. There really, really is. And like I said on the review show, I think that there's a lot to be said about Aaron Rodgers just heating up at the right time. And I think it could happen, especially if they make a trade. Because I've heard that they have been, and they've been calling a lot of teams, making discussions and like, right, what can we make work here? What can we do? Like, there's the Packers come out on Sunday night, shock the world, and somehow run away and win this one, we have a different perception of the Packers. Everything we've seen from the last 3 weeks is out the window, if I'm quite honest.
Right, well, let's if they keep this up then.
Yeah. Waffled on. I'm sounding a bit deluded there. To make no bones about it, the Bills are going to win this game. It's going to be hideous for the Packers. Okay.
Right. Well, I've got
Bengals.
I've got 5 minutes to do this, or 3 minutes to do this.
All right, we'll do it. Bengals at Browns. I don't really like talking about these Monday night games. It's the end of the show, and then we have to wait another week to do it all again. Really, so sad times.
Bengals elite quarterback will win it.
No. You burned your ticket for that train. You're not allowed on here now.
Joe Burrow's elite now.
Mm-hmm.
Because, he was good last week, so he's elite now.
Yeah, I think that the Bengals have come hot in a really, really good moment. Points per game up, yards per game up. They're pretty even. Both teams are pretty even in yards per game. Bengals 390.3, Browns 389.9. So there's not much in it there. But it's the defenses which change things. 332.3 per game allowed for the Bengals, and it's about 358.7 for the Browns. So, and it's a bit of consistency with the Bengals in terms of their defensive performances. They're getting run over, but they seem to be able to be bailed out by how good their pass defense is, which has been heating up the last couple of weeks.
I trust Joe Burrow more than Jacoby Brissett.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Which is why the Bengals will win this pretty comfortably.
Yeah, they're 3-point favorites. I like those odds. You take them.
Can't see the Browns really doing anything. And of course, if Tom Terrific wins tonight, splits that AFC North open.
Yep.
So of course, I've gone for the Ravens, of course, but
yeah, I think that the Bengals pull something out here. I think they've just been getting things together, and I think everybody that doubted them were silly. That's what you all were.
Yeah.
But I mean, you look at the injury report. There's nobody really that is, a concern for me that's missing for the Bengals. You got Logan Wilson. He's probably the only one. But I mean, the Browns are going to be without Denzel Ward. They're going to be without Wyatt Taylor. Most likely Jacob Phillips. He's going to be out. So there's a lot of keepers. Of course. So we're both taking the Bengals here.
Because if it had been the original 6 games, he would have been back for this one.
That's right, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I would have fancied the Browns with Deshaun.
You think, on his first game back?
Yeah, I would have fancied it. I think he would have shown that I've not lost a step.
Okay, all right, interesting. Well, yeah, that's it for another episode of the End of the Fourth Football Podcast. Thank you very much for hanging out with us, as you always do. You can check out all our social links. They'll be in the description. But if you're listening on audio, the Facebook is End of the Fourth Podcast. On Instagram, we are at End of the Fourth Pod. On Twitter, it's the same, but instead of the word fourth, it's 4TH, End of the Fourth Pod. Check out the Let's Talk Sports family on YouTube. If you're watching, I'll link them in the description as well. But they go live every week, every day, with live shows on NFL, MLB, NBA, which obviously started the other day. And NHL, so soccer, all that good stuff. And I'm thinking I've got something in the works. I've got an idea of possibly another show to be exclusively on the Let's Talk Sports video network. So stay tuned. I'm workshopping it right now, but we're going to figure some things out. And Chris, of course, you're welcome to come along. Gonna be football related, of course.
Right. Well, we'll see how. Well, we'll discuss it off air.
Yes, we will. We will. We'll need to move it by Dan first, but I'm sure he'll be fine with that. But yep, that's it from us. We'll be back on Tuesday with our review show. So from the Prez,
yep,
and B-Hizzy, ciao for now.